mute her, and then she can unmute when she needs to speak.
All right. So, Mr. Muhammad, I need your name.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mohammed on behalf of the people.
Did you give us a police report? What is the reason? All right. So let me start out by saying this is no objection and no low plea. This would be a plea to use, which is a 1 year, use of cocaine, which is a 1 year, and operating with the presence of a controlled substance, which is a 1 year. And in return, and I want to just cover something with you guys. The 4 year possession of okay, you got use of cocaine. It's use of psilocybin, isn't it?
I'm fairly certain it was cocaine, Judge.
Can you tell me allegedly what this was, Mr. Collins? Allegedly?
Allegedly, it was cocaine, I believe, Judge. Ms. Bell, what are you saying?
Your client's shaking. Hang on a second. Your client's shaking. Hang on, ma'am. Just wait. Your client's shaking her head no. And the allegation in the complaint, it falls under the cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic, but they specifically allege less than 25 grams of psilocybin. So it's mushrooms. It's not cocaine.
Well,
right. I think it was the catch-all, Judge, that we were going with.
I get it. But they wrote on the plea form cocaine, and I'm going to ask you to change that to psilocybin.
Okay, Judge. Okay, I'm going to review the report.
Okay. Okay. I need the police report. When you're sending these in for a no contest plea, please send me in the report, okay? I don't have it. You're going to have to bring it in. Maybe it's stuck in this file somewhere. I'll let him look at that. Okay, what is the reason for the no contest plea?
So it came at the request of defense, and I was informed that due to the defendant being under the influence, she couldn't recall exactly.
Is that true, Mr. Collins?
Yes,
say no again.
Judge, at this time, I would just request to withdraw the plea because the defense is shaking her head no to almost everything, and so I just don't think it's appropriate. We can set this for a preliminary exam.
Wait a minute, slow down.
Yeah, Mr. Muhammad, just take it easy, Judge. She was blacked out at the time. She was fine.
You guys, you just let's wait a minute. She's shaking her head. This is not comfortable for me right now. Just stop shaking your head, Ms. Bell. I'm going to let you talk to your lawyer in a breakout room. Mr. Muhammad's, listen. Just listen. Mr. Muhammad's going to look at the report. He's going to pull the report if it's going to be a no contest plea. I'll be happy to take it, but I want you to understand something, Mr. Muhammad, before you leave the courtroom. I've gone back and forth with the prosecutor's office about sobriety court. I want to make sure that this deal is not contingent. In other words, if she gets into sobriety court, the plea stands, obviously. If she does, if we're going to put her through a phase of bond conditions. If she doesn't comply, and I mean, especially if we don't think we can help her because she's not showing up, she's not taking it seriously, she's testing positive constantly, the team will meet. We're going to decide whether or not we're going to accept her. We want to accept her. But if we don't accept her, I want to make sure you're still good with this deal. I don't want to be having to say, well, it's contingent on her being accepted. And since you didn't accept her, Judge, that we have to start over. I want to make sure none of that's part of this.
Correct, Judge. It isn't. And that's why I did check mark the recommendation.
Right. Now, I want you to understand, though, Ms. Bell, and I'm going to let you talk to your lawyer. If you don't make it into sobriety court when they've cut you this deal, you're likely to do some significant jail time in the beginning. So I only want you getting into this if you truly want to be in sobriety court. And I want to explain to you real quickly, in case you haven't had the opportunity, it's not for the weak-hearted here. We'll put you in a bond phase. You'll immediately start testing 2-3 times a week at your own expense. You'll immediately get into treatment. You'll immediately be placed on a SoberLink device, even though this involved drugs. And I don't know what the extent of your alcohol problem. You'll immediately start going AA, 3-4 times a week. You'll immediately start meeting with probation every other week. And you'll have to meet with me in the off weeks. It's not for the weary. This is not something I would recommend anybody do for a restricted license or to avoid jail or because they think it's better, because it's tough. And I don't want anybody coming in here thinking the program is just a little bit more than regular probation, because it's not. So I'm not discouraging you. I'd love to have you. I've enjoyed sobriety court. We've helped a lot of people turn their lives around, but this decision is personal to you, and it should only be made if you decide to go this route with the idea, I want to change my life. I'm not just looking to get through 2 years of probation. I want to change my life. I want to stop using drugs. I want to straighten out my life and get clean. So now you can unmute her. Do you understand everything I just said, Ms. Bell?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to put you in a breakout room to speak to Mr. Collins. I'm going to put you in a breakout room to speak to Mr. Collins, and then Mr. Mo. Yeah.
Judge, if I may, I think the court has been fairly explicit in what the terms are. It's really, at this point, Ms. Bell, I believe, is willing to go forward, Judge.
That's fine. She was shaking her head no when you said she was blacked out. She was shaking her head no when everybody was saying cocaine instead of psilocybin. I'm still going to take a plea based on the use of the controlled substance in the complaint. I'm not going to pretend it's cocaine. So you guys can figure it out. I will be glad to take it. If you satisfy yourself, when you look at the report, you pull the report, you give it to us. If it's going to be a no contest plea, then I don't have a problem, but just indicate on the plea form it's psilocybin, not cocaine. There's a difference. You can take the file.
Okay.
All right, that's what I'll do.
They
I'm
are
not going to
looking-
keep you, Mr. Collins. As soon as he comes back in with it, I'm going to get you out of here,
But
okay?
Judge, just to confirm, they are psilocybin and cocaine fall within the same schedule, so it's the same charge, correct?
I know that, but I'm
I'm
not going to
asking-
ask some, it's under the same statute, but it's still, your complaint alleges psilocybin. That's mushrooms. That's not cocaine. And I'm not trying to argue with anybody. I'm not going to ask anybody. I could just say use of a controlled substance and leave cocaine on there, but
No, I was just asking a question.
no, it does. It's
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask her specifically what she consumed.
Okay,
Okay, used and what she used before she operated the vehicle.
I understand.
Thanks. All right. So Ms. Bell, I don't know why we're getting such incredible distortion with when you're on Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and handle this case. I'm getting the file right now. We're going to have to mute you while I'm talking. We will unmute when I got it. Okay. Yeah, Lisa, this whole report, it's a thick one. I'm not going through it all. But it needs to be stapled, so if somehow the file makes its way down, you need to send it back. People against Venetia Renee Bell. This is file number 24M710670. Mr. Collins, again, your appearance.
Good morning, Judge. Harold Collins, P56805, on behalf of Ms. Venetia Bell, who's present on the Zoom screen.
Ma'am, your name, please. You have to unmute.
Venetia Bell.
All right. Now you can. All right. So ma'am, I have a stipulated plea agreement that says that there's no objection to a no contest plea. Your lawyer is telling me that you blacked out. I'm told now there was cocaine in your system and that there was psilocybin in the vehicle. If you plead no contest, if in fact, I just need to hear a yes or no. Do you in fact have a lack of memory concerning this incident? Yes or no? You have to answer.
Yes.
All right, unmute. If you plead no contest, I want you to understand, ma'am, that it has the same effect as a guilty plea. If you plead no contest, they are offering you the opportunity to plead to use under count 1 to operating while intoxicated second with the presence of a controlled substance. Both of those are punishable in this instance by up to 1 year in jail. Use is reduced from the 4-year. OWI 2 is a 1 year. If you didn't get into sobriety court, there'd be a mandatory 5 days in jail up to a year, or minimum of 30, maximum of 90 days of community service. Fines minimum 200, max 1,000. Your license would be revoked if you had the other within the last 7 years, and it certainly appears as though you did. And your vehicle could be or might have to be immobilized. You could be required to pay court costs or all of those penalties. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So I'm going to take a no contest plea. I've had the report marked Peoples 1. You stipulate I can use the police report, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, did you ever go over and get printed on this case, Ms. Bell? Yes or no?
She did, Your Honor.
She
I
did,
still
Judge. I checked it this morning. She did.
Good enough. All right, so do you fully understand everything, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, so if you plead no contest, you're giving up your right to the presumption of innocence. You're waiving the requirement that they prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're waiving your right to remain silent. You're waiving that right to remain silent. I'm sorry, you're waiving the right to remain silent at your trial or to testify if you so choose. And if you remain silent, the jury would be instructed that they're not to hold that silence against you. If you plead no contest, you're giving up the right to bring in your own witnesses, to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. And you're, again, waiving the requirement that they prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And ultimately, you are waiving your right to a jury trial or a trial of any kind. And you do have the constitutional right to a jury trial. Do you understand all that?
Yes, I do.
Do you still wish to plead no contest?
Yes.
All right, to the charge of use of a controlled substance, to wit, psilocybin, how do you plead?
No contest.
To the charge of operating while intoxicated second, being under the influence of a controlled substance, how do you plead?
No contest.
All right, I'm going to review the report. I think you said you stipulate I can use this, correct, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I've had it marked Peoples 1. Now, before we go on, ma'am, they also have on here, this is a sentence recommendation, 18 months probation, 40 hours community service, drug screening with treatment if applicable, if the district court allows entrance to sobriety court, and additional terms and conditions set by the court. You understand that is simply a recommendation, correct?
Yes.
You understand that I'm not bound by any of the terms of that I can sentence you to more or less or whatever else I want.
Yes.
All right. Based upon my review of the report, I do find that there is a factual basis for the plea. Ma'am, are you on probation or parole right now?
Yes.
Were you on probation on the date of this offense, which was November 2 of 23?
No.
All right. Has anybody forced you to plead no contest?
No.
I'm also going to note, counsel, she did have some alcohol in her system as well. I believe I saw 0.069 here. So I'm going to accept your plea to use of a controlled substance, to wit psilocybin. I'm going to accept your plea to operating while intoxicated second offense. If you can just give me 1 second here. The consumption of a controlled substance. And counsel, do you stipulate that she had the prior conviction for operating while impaired back on August 13 of 19 out of the 20th District Court?
So stipulated, Judge.
All right, the complaint indicates that as well. So I'm accepting your plea to use of a controlled substance That's no contest, lack of memory. I'm also accepting your plea to OWI 2. I'm dismissing the possession of a controlled substance, the 4-year felony. I'm referring you for a screening and assessment. Ma'am, I really hope you're taking me seriously on this because, I mean, you had an accident here, and I don't want you to say anything. It's a no contest, but you had an accident, cocaine, psilocybin, single car accident. You had a prior. We got to get your life under control. I have a sobriety court status review. I want you to come into the building today, and I have status review hearings tomorrow at 7:30 and at 3 p.m. You're free to choose whichever one.
I don't,
You muted yourself, Ms. Bell. Okay.
I didn't even touch the phone.
You what?
I said, I don't know if I can get there today. It's short notice and I don't have a car,
Tomorrow.
nor do I have a license.
All right, now listen, Ms. Bell. You live in Gibraltar, right?
Yeah,
Maybe we should stop this right now, because if you are not going to be able to get to court and get the testing and get to AA and get the treatment and get the victim's impact and get to everything else.
I do that already.
Your odds, hang on a second, let me finish. Your odds of making it through the program are next to nil. And I'm not trying to be negative, but there's a lot. I tried to tell you that in the beginning. There's a lot.
I fear I can't afford it.
Well, then why don't we just take a plea to get you into drug court, sobriety court?
That's what I fear I can't afford.
Wait a second. This is serious business here right now.
I mean, I already.
I want you to listen to me very carefully and clearly. If you don't make it through sobriety court, you are going to, especially if you falter, you're going to be surprised how much time you're going to do. This isn't like, let's do this. This is easier today, and it's not going to be bad tomorrow. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. When we accept you into sobriety court, the grant pays for your SoberLink device. Unmute yourself, please, or mute yourself. It pays for the SoberLink. We can assist with treatment. It pays for testing. But until then, we cannot use grant funds when you're not in the program. And you're not in the program until we accept you into the program. But I'm just telling you, Mr. Collins, I want to put the brakes on here. And I'm just not sure she's going to, I mean, when I can't even get her here today, she doesn't have a car. She does. How is she ever going to get through sobriety court?
Judge, were you saying tomorrow was the first day to be there at 7:30 or 3 p.m. tomorrow?
Tomorrow for a status review hearing.
Okay, so tomorrow, Miss Bell, not today. They're not requiring.
Well, no, I wanted her to come in and meet with probation and get her SoberLink today.
Okay. And
I mean, if somebody wants, ma'am, if you want to think I'm being unreasonable, that's okay. It's all right. I'm okay with that. I'm just not taking you to the program if you can't do these things. I'm telling you. I'm not.
Judge, she just has some restrictions. I think her license, she needs her license freed up so she can get there. She wants to take advantage.
She's going to end up with her vehicle immobilized before I stop this for 90 days because I have to by law. Let me just double check something. Who's Thomas Irwine? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Is that the gentleman whose car I was driving?
That's what our records reflect.
Okay, so he was my mechanic. My car was in the shop at the time. And he let me use his car.
Well, I can't immobilize your vehicle. I can't order a mobilization, but
I don't have a car.
I know. I got it. I heard it. You said it. I just wondered where the car was now that you were driving. If it was totaled fine, I didn't know
No,
if it was
it's in my
your-
driveway broke down. The timing
All
chain broke
right,
down. It shouldn't be the motor.
so have you, let me ask you this. Did you give consideration to how you're going to comply with these requirements? I mean, I
I'm
don't,
terrified that
I'm-
I don't know. Like I've been doing it for Wyandotte the best to my ability, and I'm doing okay with it. I fear that the cost is what's going to get me.
well, I'm not gonna lie, the cost is expensive while you're in bond phase. And you're gonna get hit with sobriety court fees and probation fees, but you got a problem. And this should be on the top of your priority list.
I mean, I've been sober
And
for
if, ma'am,
a couple of months now.
She
Ma'am.
is testing
Ma'am.
twice a week, Judge, already.
yeah, I know, but I don't think she's gonna make it, based on what she's telling me. I mean,
I've
when I
never not
started
made
to
it.
hear-
Ms.
Ma'am,
Ms. Bell, are
I'd
you
love-
willing to comply with the dictates of the program?
I'd
Yeah.
love to have you, I'd
I
love
just
to
fear
have you in the,
it's expensive.
time out. Time out. Mute yourself. Love to have you in the program. I wouldn't run a sobriety court. I started this in '08. I spent a whole year trying to get the ducks in a row. I'm not going to try to discourage you, but when I got somebody saying they don't have a car and they can't get here today, and oh my God, getting here tomorrow, it sounds like, and getting anywhere, ma'am, I don't want to debate any of this. It doesn't, I don't know what else to tell you. The requirements are the requirements. If you can make it, great. If you can't, tell me now, because the penalty will be a lot less than if we start investing all kinds of resources and I find that you signed up for a marathon and only walked to the end of the block. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do that. You might be the best probationer we've ever had. But the fact that you can't get here from about 4 miles, 5 miles away today tells me we got a problem. I mean, I don't know how you're going to get here at 7:30 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon. I don't know how you're going to get to testing all these times. Unmute. Tell me what you're thinking. I'm not.
I was prepared to walk today. When Mr. Collins said we could join via Zoom, I will walk if I have to. It is a 2-hour walk. And if I got to walk, I'll walk.
Wait a second. Jeez. How are you going to get to all these obligations? You're going to have to be going somewhere listen to me. You're going to have to be going somewhere 5 days a week. Listen, please. I got all kinds of people in here. I don't want to, I feel bad that you're crying. I'm not trying to make you cry, but I cannot solve these problems for you. I cannot solve the ride issue for you. And I need to make sure that you're ready to go. If you're not, fine, we'll let you withdraw the plea and we'll go to the exam next week and maybe you can take your chances. I don't know what to tell you. Stop crying, please. You should have thought about a lot of this before. Stop crying, please. To say that you're going to walk 5 times a week that takes you 2 hours, the testing facility's right down the street, that seems like a bit of a difficult task. That's 10 hours to get at least 10 hours. And that doesn't include all
for my
the,
daughter. I have no choice. I have to. I'm the only caregiver for my child.
Ms. Bell, if you want to do it, I'm going to let you do it. I'm just forewarning you. If you don't make it through, it's not going to be pretty.
I'm
You do
afraid I
whatever you
can't
want to do,
afford
but I
it.
can. Counsel, I don't know what to do with her. I cannot solve these problems for her. I'm not going to give her the money myself, and I'm not going to go pick her up. What are we doing here? I mean, I don't. You can't afford it, and you got to walk to. I don't know what to tell you. You're giving me both sides of the coin here. This isn't like. There's no middle of the road with this. There's no middle of the road. You're either 100% compliant or you're not going to make it. I'm just telling you. Now, do we expect and understand that people are going to have relapses? Yes. Yes.
No, I'm not going to. That's not my fear. My fear is not being able to afford to get there. That's
I don't
all.
know what to tell you. I cannot solve these problems. Maybe you need to go to the circuit court and take your chances. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's for you and Mr. Collins to have talked about. I'm not talking you into it. I'm not talking you out of it. I just want you to understand what the program's about. But this stuff about, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any answers for you. I cannot solve everybody's problems that have nothing to do with me and my ability to try to rehabilitate you, except for the fact that you can't get here.
I was drugged that night.
Ma'am.
I was drugged by somebody else.
I got all these people here. This is for you and your lawyer to talk about. I'm not going to engage in a debate here. I mean, I don't know what you want to argue with me about. I'm telling you what the program is. I'm telling you what the requirements are. I'm telling you it's not going to be an excuse that you couldn't get a ride. I'm going to tell you right now, if you tell me, Judge, I just don't have the money to go test, you're not going to make it. Now, this is only for a 5-week period. Counsel, I don't really know what to do with her at this point.
You said for 5 weeks. What's for a 5-week period?
The bond phase. That's how long it takes to get through the bond phase. I would give you a sentencing date in 5 weeks. You would come in here today. They'd tell you you need to go to AA. They're going to set the bond conditions for you. We're going to get you out of SoberLink. You're going to be testing 3 times a week. You're going to be immediately in treatment. You're going to be going to AA 4 times a week. And all that's going to be at your expense. Now, when we get you through the bond phase, then I can use grant funds, but I can't legally use grant funds in the bond phase. And I'll be happy to tell you that as long as you test every time and you test negative every time after you're accepted into the program, we're going to pay for your testing through the whole program for 2 years. As long as you blow in your SoberLink every day 5 times and you're negative every day 5 times, we're going to pay for your Sober.
I don't even drink.
Ma'am, with all due respect, at this point, you're agitating me. You're going to be on a SoberLink device, okay? Period. Plain simple. I'm not treating you better.
Okay.
Now, I don't care if you do the program or not at this point. I'd like to have
the SoberLink doesn't concern me. That's the easy part.
Ma'am.
I'm not concerned about. I'm okay with that.
Ma'am. Counsel, I'm putting you in a breakout room with her. And you guys can decide. I'm not engaging in this colloquy anymore here. I've got a lot of work to do today. I got a lot of people, and I don't want to debate this or talk about our inability to afford it or get here. I can't do more than I'm doing. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. She seems to want to argue with me about all this. I'm not lifting a SoberLink device because she tells me she doesn't drink. So I can't hear a word you're saying, Mr. Collins.
Judge, she's not asking to have that removed or not tested on it. Ms. Bell, are you willing to deal with the dictates of the program? Yes or no?
She went to a breakout room.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa.
Go talk to her.
Okay.
Go talk to her. Thank you. Venetia Renee Bell, 24M710670. Ms. Bell, your name again, please.
Venetia Bell.
All right, Mr. Collins.
Judge, we're going to ask this honorable court to allow us to withdraw the plea. We would waive the exam and move the case to the circuit court, Judge.
Okay. Tell Mr. Muhammad I need him in here. Is that what you want to do, ma'am?
Yes.
I hope you understand I'm not discouraging it. I love to have people in here that I can help. It just didn't sound like you have the resources or the ability to comply, and that makes it bad and worse for you and frustrating for us because then we have to do things we don't have to do. Is it true what your lawyer just said, that you wish to withdraw your plea and waive your right to an exam?
Yes.
Counsel, your appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mohammed on behalf of the people.
I took the plea, and then it became pretty clear pretty quick that she isn't going to be able to comply with the requirements. She doesn't have a car. She has no money. She's going to walk here today from Gibraltar. She's saying it's 2 hours. We got the testing facility here. So I took the plea. She wants to withdraw it. You have no objection, correct?
She wants to withdraw the plea?
And then waive her right to an exam and go to the circuit court.
Okay, no objection.
Any objection to her waiver of the exam?
No objection.
Any objection to her withdrawing the plea?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and withdraw the plea, and now I'm going to cover this with you again, and I'm going to tell you that you have the right to a preliminary examination on the felony charge, not on the misdemeanor charge, but on the felony charge. And at that exam, the people would have to show that the crime was committed and that you were the one who probably committed the crime. If you waive that right, you will automatically be bound over for further proceedings to the Wayne County Circuit Court on the charges contained in the complaint and warrant. So the misdemeanor of OWI 2 will go with it, as well as the count 1 possession of a controlled substance. Do you understand that? You have to answer out loud, ma'am. You have to unmute.
Yes, I do.
And you understand then, if you waive your right to an exam, that you're waiving that requirement, at least as the count 1, that they prove probable cause as to the crime being committed and you being the one who committed it, and you'll be bound over for further proceedings to the circuit court. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
And is that what you wish to do, is waive your right to an exam?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and accept the waiver. I find the waiver has been made voluntarily and understandingly. You're bound over for further proceedings. Again, the plea is allowed to be withdrawn. You're bound over to the Wayne County Circuit Court. And I'm going to give you April 15th at 9 a.m. as an AOI date in the Criminal Justice Center. Mr. Collins, I hope I didn't screw anything up here. I think it's best, though, that when somebody's showing reluctance, that in my view, there's only a 1% chance they make it. So I hope you understand, counsel.
Absolutely,
And I will,
Judge.
and April 15th will be your date, ma'am, and I sincerely wish you well. I'm going to encourage you to continue to get yourself some help. I do want to add, there was whoever arraigned on this, I do want to add that you have to go to AANA at least 3 times a week. So you can go to Narcotics Anonymous, you have to go in person. I'm adding that today. And every time you go to the circuit court, you have to bring written proof. They have to sign, somebody has to sign that form indicating that you were there with their phone number and with the other pertinent information. We're going to give you, do you have an AA form you can send her, Mr. Collins?
I do not.
I attend fan meetings monthly.
Okay, we have to go to this 3 times a week. I'm going to ask you to come up here. I'll tell you what, we're going to mail you one. We will mail you one. John, will you, or Lisa, will you mail her an AA form, or remind John to give it to you? You still live on Lish. We will mail you. We will get that out today, but you have to go 3 times a week. And I think the form's pretty self-explanatory. So you're all set. I wish you well. Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Bell?
No, sir.
All right. I wish you well. I really do. April 15th. Mr. Collins, have a great day, sir. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you for your patience.
No problem.
Your Honor,
Yeah. How
can
you
I
doing?
can I be switched to the breakout room with the prosecutor?
Sure, they'll put you in there. Thanks, Mr. Humphrey.
Thanks.